Good afternoon and welcome to lovely Pickett, Wisconsin on the 16th day of June 2026. And on the stand today I've got two engines that we're going to be running not simultaneously but head to head. Now this video and these engines, well, the video is dedicated to my buddy Jeremy. The engines came from Jeremy. He gave me both of these engines late last year sometime because he wanted me to do a 40 size comparison test between these two engines. On this side I've got an ASP 40 engine. Now this is one of the early models of the 40 engine ASP because it's got the front detachable front housing. So this is probably one of those engines that was released in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. On this side I've got a Magnum XL40A engine. I think it's an A or it's just an XL40 engine. I do not know when this engine was released. It's sporting an OS helicopter muffler from a 46 SFH because that's why this outlet is coming out at a 90-degree angle. So what I'm going to do here is run these two engines briefly. I don't have a whole lot of fuel in this tank. I've got more fuel in this tank. But I don't think I'm going to need a lot of fuel to do what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to do a quasi comparison because this isn't really a fair comparison by any means. And the reason I say that is because this engine is brand new. Now granted, with an ABC engine and break-in, you run it very close to peak, but not peak. Very close to peak, maybe 1,000 RPM off of peak. That's how you break in an ABC engine. So this is actually a break-in run. This Magnum, I don't know. I think this engine's been run. I haven't taken it apart or looked at the head, the piston, or anything like that, but when I look inside the exhaust port, I see remnants of oil, plus this high-speed needle adapter is bent, or it's a remote needle on it, is bent. Does that tell me it's been run or not? I don't know. All I know is I believe that this engine has at least one run on it, whereas this one doesn't, so can I really peak them both out? I could, if I want to blow up this one, which I really don't. So anyway, that's the comparison, that's the run, and it's going to be one video with both of these running for a short time. So the other thing with this engine is when Jeremy sent it to me, it was actually missing the carb, and he didn't realize that, and I didn't realize that until a month or two afterwards. For whatever reason, when I showed this in the video, I totally missed the fact that it didn't have a carb. So what we ended up having to do is, I believe Jeremy bought me another ASP 40 engine. I believe that's what happened. I don't think I paid for it. And it was one with a black head, and it's called the 40A Super. That's where this carb came from, and that's actually where this exhaust came from too, because the exhaust that came with this wasn't for this engine either. So that's the thing. The crankcase is brand new. The carb is untested. Well, it's all untested. Untested, not run this engine at all. I'm going to be using the exact same APC 10.6 prop. They both have OS number 8 glow plugs in them, at least if they don't, they will. And we're running the same 5% fuel, so let's go ahead and fire this ASP 40 up. Okay, let's prime this. Oh, I need to get the vent line for my exhaust. What did I do with that? Is that long enough? My apologies. I thought I was prepared and I was not. Okay, now we're ready. Full throttle priming. The ratchet clicker is broken on this, so 1, 2.5 turns. It feels like it'll hold it though, so we'll see. That's interesting. Is it really that rich that it won't even stay running? stop this and put the fuel tubing trick on this because this high-speed needle is adjusting itself. So let me take a short pause. Pause is over, fuel tubing trick employed. Let's see if that's gonna remedy this high-speed needle wanting to wander all over the place. I think this low speed is a little bit rich. Let's see if I can turn this in here. Is it? Wow, is that low speed even? So I haven't done anything with this carb at all other than stick it on this engine, so I'm not even sure if it's wanting to do anything at all. It seemed like it was tuned right when I did my little blow test on it, so I thought it was close, but we'll see if it'll fire up again here. Nice running little engine thus far. Rich still, but it's a bit better. I think we've seen enough with that engine. Okay, so here's the Magnum 40 engine. First time I've ever run it. I just preliminarily set the throttle stop screw because it actually does have a throttle stop screw, except the hole is not big enough here for this thing and it keeps wanting to come off, so I'm going to have to be careful with that. So let's fire this thing up and see what it does. I've already got this set to 2 full turns from closed. Looks like it's taking fuel fine. I just thought of another way that this test isn't fair. And it isn't fair because this exhaust has a baffle in it, whereas the ASP did not. So with that said, I'm going to disassemble this real quick and take that baffle out of there so that we can get a little more closer reading. I'm going to leave it tuned just like it is and see what the difference is with that baffle removed. Okay, well, fool me. This does not have a baffle in it. It just really sounds like it does. So let's fire this thing up, and if that's all the RPM this thing has got, which kind of seemed like it, even an ASP that's not broken in beats the crap out of this thing. Low end is really rich, and I don't think I've got the screwdriver with the thin enough tip to fit inside that, because that one's really recessed. Let me see if I can find it or see if this will fit. This is a pretty big tip, so I don't think it's going to fit in here, and my other little screwdriver is kind of MIA right now. Maybe I can get this one in there. This one will work. I'm going to lean this low speed a little bit. I put about a quarter turn or so on that. That was really rich on the low end. I mean, this is, I'm not going to say that I'm, well, never mind. I'm not going to say anything. Do this. The throttle stop screw seems like it opened up on me by itself too, and it's got a spring on it, which means it should not do that. It should hold its setting. It should be alright. Let's try that. I've got all these tools sticking out of my That sounds like fighters. can't see them, but I can certainly hear them. Okay, I think we're going to end this comparison here. Okay, so that concludes our not so competitive comparison between these two 40 size engines, or not so relevant maybe, I don't know. All I know is I like ASP engines, especially these early ASP engines. They were just really phenomenal. I have never ever been a huge fan of this style of Magnum engine. When they went to that blue box with like the blue and white checkerboard or whatever, and it says Magnum XL. When they went to that XL series, now early Magnum engines from this vintage or this time period, late 80s, early 90s, phenomenal engines. Something happened here. When they went to this style, the XL series, I don't care for those at all. I don't think they run as well. And maybe it's not fair, but I was playing with this a little bit, but you know, and it's not tuned perfectly, but still the engine, the top end of this ASP 40, not even broken in, was beating this by at least 600 or 700 RPM, and this thing was wanting to, so, you know, I don't know. You may say, well, they're both made in the same factory, but they're made in different times. This was a much later engine than this one. And maybe the later ASPs weren't as good either. I don't know. All I know is I had to have an ASP 52, and it's a kick-ass engine. And it makes this thing look anemic also. So there's your comparison, Jeremy and everybody else. In this particular comparison of these two engines with these conditions, the ASP, in my opinion, is the superior engine by far than this Magnum. Now, does some of this have to do with the fact that we've got a remote needle valve? Yep. Some of that does have to do with it. Do we have different exhaust? Kind of. I mean, maybe forcing this exhaust out at a 90-degree angle is less than ideal, but I can see on this tail end cone of this where it has the markings where it would have had, if it was going to be, if this tail end was going to be for a two-stroke airplane engine, it would have been drilled here and had a tap here, but on this side, it's got it coming out from the 90-degree angle like it's a helicopter tail cone. Same fuel, same plug, same prop. Not even close to the same engines at all. ASP just is by far superior in my opinion.